Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. This is our match preview for Aston Villa v Spurs. If you're new around here, we are very, very close now to 25,000 subscribers, which is a huge achievement for this channel to get to. So help us out by subscribing, smash the likes. We're back, so let's go big. Let's try and get 1,000 likes. Everybody do your bit and comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. Actually, smash a like for Margot Audrey Robinson. Let's go, guys. She is here. She was born yesterday in 2 in the morning. So hopefully this pod I can deliver, because we're running on fumes here, guys. The sleep situation hasn't been the best. We're not home yet, by the way. And I've been in there. Well, we've been in there since Saturday, so it's been a long ride. But yeah, Margot's here. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. Mom is doing very, very well as well. What a warrior she is. So I watched the Bournemouth game in hospital. Yeah, it was a nervy watch in the hospital. I'm not going to lie, guys. Nervy towards the end. Matty Cash off the line. So yeah, I did do some content after that because I was at home and stuff. And but yeah, so Margot is here. So smash the likes for Margot. Yeah, what a feeling. What a feeling it is. But yeah, so not been much content, as you can imagine. So we are back. So let's go. Let's get into it. Little rumor of Francesco Carvo, managing director of revenue and football development. So he looks like he's coming in place of Chris Heck. So I imagine that'll be confirmed when Heck goes at the end of the season. So you know, I think he's just got to just carry on really and keep growing, keep building, get them sponsors in, get that money coming in, and just get the club growing. So yeah, big job. But let's go. Let's get that revenue. Let's get that money coming in. So we've got Spurs and Villa are in a good place. Villa are in a very, very good place. We have navigated a very tough away game and won. Now we've got a home game, and Villa's home games, we should be, well, we enjoy every game we play at home. We win most games we play at home. So the players will be feeling really comfortable, really settled, and ready to get the job done on Friday night and just get that one win away from being, in my opinion, back in the Champions League. So I think we should be feeling confident. We should be feeling together. We should be feeling that we've got a direction that we've got to be working towards, and a direction that we've just got to keep getting the job done. I think there's players now that should start feeling really confident within themselves. So they'll be able to just use the Bournemouth and take that into this one, and just feeling really comfortable within themselves. We're playing against a team that are so up and down and unpredictable, and you know, when you watch them, you're like, oh, they're gonna do something today. They're gonna play really well, or they're gonna do something. And when you watch them, and you know, they could be playing, I don't know, someone like Ipswich, and you think, okay, they'll beat these, and then there's a curveball, and they'll concede, and they'll have to fight back, and it just looks very tiresome at the minute. If I were looking at the supporters of Spurs, there's a lot of discontent. There's a lot of discontent with sort of the ownership and how all that's going, and I just think there's just a lot of unrest. And the one thing that's probably a shining light is the Europa League final. And I look at them in the Premier League, and you know, them and Man United, they've just been absolutely atrocious. We're talking Premier League here. I'm going to try and get the Premier League table so I can just confirm where they are. So we've got Tottenham in 17th, Man United in 16th. You know, that is you can have bad seasons. Like any team can have a bad season. You know, you have a bad season, and where would a bad season for us this year would probably be like mid-table or something. But a bad season for like Manchester United and Spurs cannot be 16th and 17th with financial spending power that both of those teams have got. And you then start thinking, like, how can Spurs be so bad? Like last year, they were pretty decent, weren't they? Last year, it was Andrew's first season. He came in, he had that 10-game period where they were like top of the league, and everybody was sort of getting giddy. And then after that, you started to see a few little patterns of some of their problems. So, you know, they did okay, didn't they? They finished a place below us, and they got Europa League, which was a solid season. But this season in the Premier League, it's just unraveled into the high line. I don't think is as high anymore. So it's not like Villa, you know, they've toned that down a little bit. But I just think there's this real naivety with Ange and his tactics and how he plays, and a real stubbornness to just not adapt, but to adapt in a way that you succeed in the Premier League. It's very my way. We go out, we play my way, and we won't alter, we won't deviate. And I just think some of the players just don't really enjoy it. It doesn't look like a team where the players enjoy it. Maddison is a player that, you know, speaks very well after a game. He gives very honest interviews. And I just get a vibe he doesn't enjoy playing for Ange at all. And I think there's probably a lot of the players that don't really enjoy it either. And their form is just terrible. And you get to a point now where with them, it's like you go, well, they're not going to win that. And they don't win it. They don't turn up. They don't show. They've got no heart. They've got no passion. They're just, you know, against Palace at home, and they won't beat Palace. And they didn't. It was 2-0. And it's just very strange. Very, very strange how it's got to this point where, you know, when I was saying earlier about they've been in a place below Villa, got Europa League, and where they are now. How do you get back to where you were with Ange? I don't think they do. And I think the other thing about Ange is like the interviews are very spiky, aren't they? They're very just not great, are they? So, and you look at their best players this season. Best players probably been Archie Gray, you know, some youngsters that they've been relying on, and Towels come in and not really changed much. And you look at some of the combinations that they use, and it doesn't really change anything at all, really. So to me, that says as a player and a bit of a manager breakdown, really, of the message. I think the message probably isn't clear. And then, you know, you get fans now saying, you know, it's terrible that they're going to qualify for the Champions League, etc., which in truth it is. But I think the way I see it is, I can't really be too annoyed about that, really. You know, I can't be too annoyed about Man United either. And I'll tell you why. Because them being in the Europa League this year is a reward for last season. So we can't really look at this season, I don't think, and analyse whether they should or not be getting because they both earned the right to be in that competition from last year. So I'm think Manchester United, did they win did they win the FA Cup or I can't remember, guys. Man United are in it because I think they deserve to win something, or I don't know how they got in there. I do not know. But anyway, so Spurs, for example, qualified for the Europa League. They've earned the right to compete in it, and then they've made the final. So that's basically from like last year, isn't it? Like this year, like so. They're being rewarded from the success of the season before of qualifying and being in it, and now getting to a final in it. So The fact it's frustrating, I know, but I think it's just one of them. It is what it is. But their Premier League form is absolutely tragic, and they're you don't know what you're going to get with them, do you? Now, they are not going to play any of their main players. That is not going to happen because Andrew was talking in the week about wrapping players in cotton wool. Kulusevski's out now, I think, for the season. Maddison, their creative players are all gone. Their best players are all gone in Kulusevski, Maddison. So it will be their youngsters who didn't step up against Spurs. He'll probably try and fire them up at Villa Park. But we've just got to do the job. Do the job, get the job done, and then move on to Manchester United. And then I'll say exactly the same things of what I've said on this one about Man United. So yeah, and Villa, we can talk about big six this, big six that. Villa have finished above Spurs now for the last 3 seasons, which shows where both clubs are, I think. It shows where both clubs are. Right, so we're going to do a predicted lineup then. Let's get into it. Let's share the screen and let's predict the Villa team. Right, in goal, Emi Martinez. I'm going to fly through it and then I'll explain why. I'm going to go with Pau, Cash, and we're going to go with left back. We are going to go with Ian Matson. Double pivot is going to be Boubacar Kamara. And we are going to put in there Onana as well. So Kamara and Onana are in there. Let's find Onana. There we go. Got Onana. We are then going to go with Asensio in behind Watkins. On the left, I'm going to go with McGinn. And on the right, I am going to go with Morgan Rogers. So let's find Rogers. There we go. Right. So that's my team. That's what I'm going with. And I'll explain why now. So Martinez in goal because it's Martinez. Right back is Cash and he's having some standout games now. And I feel like Matty Cash is now in that zone of being very, very good, very strong. And I think Emery mentioned this as well, that he doesn't want the season to end. And I can imagine why, because he's got the players now. I think what he's done, he's got the players now to a point where he knows that they are fully functioning on board and at it. There's no let up. And I think he's tried to manage us to get us at this point now, where it's just steamroller towards the end of the season. And I think Cash is one of them that when you get him there, he's perfect. Konsa absolutely needs to play. The Pau and Mings thing, and I know we'll be changing Mings to Pau, but I think he'll do it. I think he'll go with Pau for this one. I can't imagine Solanke starting. So I don't think we need to get touch tight to someone like Solanke. If Solanke starts, then I might go with Mings. But I think for Pau, for his passing at Villa Park, I think we need Pau in there. I think we need Pau. And then I'm going to go with Matson, who I think, again, at Villa Park has been doing really, really well. Up and down. Got a goal in him now as well, which is really good. Double pivot. Kamara, Onana, very strong. I want to see Onana keep building now and really end the season on a high. And then we can start to take that into next season as well. McGinn on the left. I think this game will need McGinn. I think if it's a weakened team, I think you don't want Spurs getting a little bit of, not confidence, but a little bit of a, no, we've got nothing to lose vibe. So we can just throw everything at it. I think if we got McGinn in there that can just tighten up that midfield a little bit, just coming in there a little bit more, then you've got your width down there. I think that midfield, so we'll have a little bit more balance. Let's get this back on. So we'll have a little bit more balance, and then you'll have more balance, and then you'll have Asensio that can drop in there, and then we've got Rodgers that can move into that central space as well. Both of these can switch around either during a game. So if it's one on one side, then we can just alternate and move them around as well. So yeah, that's my vibe there. Watkins leading the line. So yeah, Asensio, I didn't think he played that great against Bournemouth, but watching it back, there was some real good stuff that he did in there on the ball, which, again, I think Emery really wants to use him now. And while we've got him till the end of the season, if we do get him again, then maybe Emery's seen something that he really, really likes here. So I think Asensio starts, Rodgers, like I say, drifting, moving, powerhouse, drive through the middle. And then the record goal scorers back, guys. Watkins back at Villa Park. So hopefully he can bag a few more, get a little bit clearer in that record as well. So we've got Ramsey suspended. And I think that's everything for me, guys. Yeah, short, sharp, sweet. I'm back. So I'll do a match reaction. And then next week we'll have a full flow of all of our usual content as well. So I'll see you on the match reaction. Up the Villa.